With traditional AI platforms, every sensitive question you ask about contracts, litigation, or legal strategy gets stored forever, accessible to governments, hackers, and other third parties. But imagine getting actual attorney-client privilege with an AI lawyer. Venice AI makes this possible with zero logging, zero surveillance, and zero records. Ask about complex legal matters, research case law, draft contracts, or explore litigation strategies with complete privacy. And after deletion, your sensitive legal inquiries are gone forever. Whether you're a lawyer, a business owner, or you just need a little legal guidance, Venice ensures your sensitive conversations stay private. Now let's put this into action. In this video, we're going to explore a real-world scenario, advising a whistleblower exposing human rights violations in an authoritarian regime. You'll see how Venice AI lets you analyze international frameworks, upload and dissect case studies, and craft actionable strategies. So let's get started. So we start a new chat on Venice AI, and we want to change the model. The best model for this job of legal research, legal guidance is going to be Venice Large. This does require a pro account, so you may have to upgrade. Otherwise, Venice Medium will do just fine. Once I've got my model selected, I'm going to click the settings icon in the top right of the Venice window to open up my settings. And you'll see we have a variety of settings here for our Venice chat. I'm going to click the add button for a system prompt. And we're going to name this legal guidance. And my prompt is going to say, act as an international human rights attorney specializing in whistleblower protection under authoritarian regimes. Prioritize legal accuracy, anonymity safeguards, and jurisdictional nuances. Do not generate hypothetical scenarios without real-world legal basis. This system prompt will create a container of context for our conversation. So we'll save that, we'll close the settings, and as you can see, we have a little alert here. Your responses will be influenced by your active system prompt. Perfect, that is what we want. Now we're imagining we're a whistleblower here. So the first thing we want to do in our conversation is research international treaties protecting whistleblowers, reporting human rights violations in authoritarian regimes. Compare UN Convention Against Corruption versus European Convention on Human Rights. This is where you want to add any context you do know about. We're going to begin research here and hopefully learn more that will take our case to the next level so we know the proper steps to take. Now you'll see that we have the web enabled here. So Venice Large is going to be searching the web. And here we have our response. 2 distinct frameworks for whistleblower protection, particularly in authoritarian regimes. And here is a comparative analysis. The scope of protection, the legal obligations, enforcement and practical challenges, regional versus universal application, limitations in authoritarian contexts. And here we have some key takeaways. The UNCAC provides a universal corruption-specific framework, but lacks enforceable penalties for noncompliance. ECHR offers stronger judicial precedents in Europe, but is constrained by regional boundaries and political resistance. And here's the real key right here. For whistleblowers in authoritarian regimes, UNCAC's broader membership may offer more symbolic leverage via international pressure, for example, while ECHR's jurisprudence provides clearer legal reasoning in European cases. And here we can see our sources for this information. So now that we've explored these international legal frameworks, let's look into asylum eligibility. Create a checklist for asylum eligibility under UN Refugee Convention for whistleblowers fearing persecution in their home country. And here we have our checklist for asylum eligibility under the UN Refugee Convention for whistleblowers. So first, we must meet the refugee definition by demonstrating a well-founded fear of persecution in our home country due to political opinion or membership in a particular social group. And we must prove we are unable or unwilling to return to our home country due to this fear. Then we must provide documentation of past persecution or by demonstrating systemic risks. We must make sure our persecution falls under protected grounds, race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership in a particular social group. And then we must clearly articulate our fear of persecution in a credible fear screening. And our checklist continues here with all the important steps to keep in mind when applying for asylum, such as applying without delay upon arrival in the host country. And once again, we can see our citations here, and we can click to learn more if we need to, though I do recommend using a VPN and an incognito tab if you are truly trying to whistleblow on human rights violation in an authoritarian regime. Let's continue the conversation now by prompting Venice to design a hypothetical protection plan for a whistleblower from blank. Include encrypted communication protocols and ICC filing strategy. So for sake of example, we're going to use Uganda. Here is our hypothetical protection plan. As you can see, we have a thorough and comprehensive plan here for encrypted communications, for operational security, for engaging whistleblower support organizations. Here's a strategy for seeking asylum. Here's a strategy for ICC filing, long-term advocacy and exit planning, and some key legal nuances here. Finally, we will draft an anonymous submission template for the UN Special Rapporteur on Torture. And this now provides us with an effective template for structuring our whistleblower communication. And one disclaimer at the end here that I will share for the purposes of this video as well on behalf of Venice AI. Using an AI does not constitute actual legal advice, and we recommend you always consult an attorney that specializes in the unique case that you are trying to research and seek guidance in. But if that's unavailable to you in a country with an authoritarian regime, perhaps because you are in an authoritarian regime, Venice AI will support you in discovering the baseline legal knowledge you need to move forward safely and securely. So hopefully we have everything we need now. If not, we can continue the conversation. The last thing we may or may not want to do, depending on our case, depending on if there's a security risk, by leaving this conversation on our browser, which is where Venice stores our conversations locally on our own browser, never on a server. We can open up our chat menu here. We can press the trash can icon and we can delete this conversation from our browser and it's gone forever. So there you have it, how to explore a sensitive legal topic with AI without anyone storing your conversation. Whether you're drafting business agreements, analyzing risk in authoritarian regimes, or researching how to protect a source's identity, Venice lets you act privately. And remember, upgrading to Pro to use Venice Large will give you the best results. So what next? Head on over to Venice.ai, start a new conversation, and explore how you can get the most out of fully private artificial intelligence.